Welcome to our next session. This time I'm going to go with the dot. The dot is a musical symbol that is used in many different instances, and I'm going to explore it in regard to music literacy and language art, math, and we'll make a complete circle to music. Now let's look at what happens in the use of the dot. When we use the dot, we have a few things that happens. I have a few things here. Okay. For example, when we are teaching languages, the dot indicates the ending of a phrase of or of a paragraph. For example, I like apples, mangoes, and the period. So the period indicates the end of a phrase. Now in mathematics, it's used as a sign of multiplication. 3 times 5 equals 15. Or it also indicates how we multiply whole number and fraction. 4 times equals 4 over 4. Okay. And then in music, it is used so many different ways. First, let's take the F clef, or they call it the bass clef. Okay. They call it also the low clef, and they also call it clé de fa. Clé de fa. Okay. So when we use it, the clef, go to the staff. You know, the clé de fa or F clef is on the 4th line. There's a dot that starts the clef, and it spins around plus 2 other dots. Oh, okay, it tells us that this is the bass clef, and that's apart from the 2 dots, we have F, which is the name of the clef as well, and the name of the line. Okay, and the second way that we look at it when we deal with repeat signs. Okay, repeat signs. We have, let me add a stack again. We have a double dot, and then another double dot. Tells you that when you start playing here, you look for the other double dot to return. So the dot is used as a repeat sign. And so far we have the bass clef with the dots, and then the repeat signs, and then one of the interesting ones has to do with the way we sing the expression of our phrases. You have staccato, and we have legato. Staccato means short. Oh, okay. And legato means O-L-E. Legato means connected. Okay. And how does the dot come into play? Let's say if I have a phrase, Okay, and then I want to make the difference in this expression, the way we sing it. I will have most of the songs, especially the last song that I played, or Divine Redeemer, at the beginning, the left hand is staccato. Okay, how is it indicated? This way. Do, fa, mi, and there they are. It means that they are short. Do, re, fa, mi. And then, if I have the same notes with slur, here we do, re, fa, mi, connected. And then staccato will be do, re, fa, mi. That's the difference. The dot is part of the musical expression. And then the most important use of the dot is as an addition. It adds to the value of the note. Value of a note. Okay, let's say we have the whole note, and depending on the meter, sometimes you have to add a note, a dot. So the definition of a dot adds half the value to the note it succeeds. The note that is placed in front of. I'll say in front of. Okay, so I have the whole note with a dot. The whole note is 4 beats, and it adds half the value. Okay, this is 4, so half of 4 will be 2. So it has to be equal to 6 beats. So how do I get that? What is half of the whole note? That would be a half note. So I would have a whole plus a half, and I give it a 6. So instead of putting the note, they put the dot. Oh, yeah. So if I have a half note that has a dot, oh, so that would be half of the half note, which is a quarter, and plus the half note. I'll be equal to 3. I'll be equal to 3. Make sure we can see it clearly. This is part 1. I'm going to come up with part 2. I'm going to bring part 2 to clarify, to make it much clearer than that. Here it was the introduction, where we can see the dot everywhere. If you want to be a good writer, you have to know your dot, because you end a phrase and a paragraph. And in mathematics, to do multiplication, you use the dot as a sign. Usually we use multiply, but usually we also use the dot. Okay. And then, as you can see, many symbols make great use of the dot, like the F clef, dot on the 4th line, which is F. Therefore, the clef has the name of F, and then 2 dot apart the line that is F. And you also have the repeat sign, double bar, 2 dots, and the next double bar we find tells you that between those 2 symbols, we have to repeat the phrase, the song, the rhythm, any content that you have in between. And then you have the most famous way we use the dot is when we have to establish the way we express the phrases or the part of the piece, the motif. You have the dot, the, me. And it's not, well, if I'm singing in diatonic, we have to use a flat to make sure it sounds properly. Do, re, fa, mi, pom, 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 pom. And then staccato. Do, re, I mean legato. Do, re, fa, mi. It's connected. Okay. So and then let me continue before I stop. And we have the half note, the whole note. Half note is the dot, the value of the dot. But I'm going to come back to that in part 2. All right. See you in a few in part 2.